I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player, so it's all good.
The revolution has started, and Sophie Cunningham is leading it. More and more people are speaking out for Caitlin Clark, and their voices are getting louder. Now, something shocking is happening. Legal action is being taken against the referees who haven't done enough to protect the WNBA's biggest star. This isn't just about basketball anymore, it's about a total collapse of fairness in the league, and finally, someone is standing up and saying, that's enough.
So we will take all media questions today, but we're just supposed to read from a script, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. On behalf of my teammates and every member of our union, I want to be very clear that we remain committed to negotiating the next CBA with the league and the teams in good faith and privately. But we do want to set the record straight, not for the headlines, but for the fans who support us and deserve transparency. What's at stake? This is a defining moment in the WNBA. As the league grows, it's time for the CBA that reflects our true value. We are fighting for a fair share of business that we built because it is a business. We are fighting for anything. We are not fighting for anything that's unreasonable.
In a shocking move, Sophie Cunningham is reportedly taking legal action against WNBA referees for not protecting Caitlin Clark from constant harassment. This isn't just about one game, it's about a repeated pattern of officials ignoring clear targeting, putting the league's biggest star in danger.
All right, enough is enough. At some point, the line gets crossed too often where something needs to be done and things need to be corrected. And that is certainly the case with the way things around Caitlin Clark are officiated. This is a constant problem now. It is something that since the beginning, I've kind of backed off on, because physical play is a part of sports. Going after a superstar and trying to rough them up a little bit to get in their head is a part of sports. But when it crosses the line, the referees need to do their jobs. They need to do their jobs, blow the whistle, and officiate properly. Hand out flagrants, kick people out of games, nip it in the bud.
The final straw came during the intense Tuesday night game against the Connecticut Sun, where Caitlin Clark was once again treated like a punching bag, and the referees did nothing to stop it.
Caitlin Clark got destroyed. Her girl Sophie came to her defense, and this was the most beast mode thing that I've seen a woman do in WNBA history. Now watch this, what they did to Caitlin Clark, and then we're going to play the clip of Sophie Cunningham. Roll the clip.
Is that displacement? I think it is. Oh, Marina Mabry's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabry is going to get ejected. Well, they're going to go and look at it. Look at Mabry. She's got a scar on one side, a scratch on one side of her face, a scratch on the other side. It's not the game today. I asked her about it. She's always in the mix. There's a lot of contact here.
JCS Sheldon poked Caitlin Clark in the eye, and while she was still reacting to the pain, Marina Mabry shoved her to the ground. Yet somehow, the referees gave Clark a technical foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. Think about that, the one who got hurt was the one punished, while the players who attacked her faced little to no consequences.
In fact, she gets a technical foul after getting poked in the eye and then shoved to the floor, and Marina Mabry doesn't even get thrown out of the game. It's basically open season on Caitlin Clark, and the special whistle that she supposedly gets goes in the other direction. Flagrantly so. They got to put it to an end. She's the most valuable player in the league in the most literal sense. And somehow she gets the opposite of superstar treatment. And that's what you saw with the Connecticut Sun and Indiana Fever. The Fever won the game. Of course they won the game. Of course they won the game.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe. But this time, something was different. Caitlin Clark had someone ready to stand up for her, Sophie Cunningham. After watching this happen over and over again, Sophie had enough. With just 46 seconds left, when Sheldon stole the ball and went for an easy layup, Cunningham stepped in and made a statement, one that went far beyond the walls of Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Ball ain't really tapped in, cause Sophie Cunningham been crashed out. She been popping it overly. They been saying she wasn't all the air, and I knew this, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, y'all lucky she wasn't in the game when it happened. Y'all lucky she wasn't in the game, because Marina Mabry would have got the pause for real. I ain't gonna lie. The girl, I don't even know the little girl that got in the clinch. I ain't gonna lie, she did her dirty. I was just waiting for the knees. I was waiting for the high knees. Because they said she was a black belt. I didn't know she was a black belt, but I know she was a popper. I know she was with all the smoke. She ain't never dunking no smoke ever.
What happened next had never been seen before in WNBA history. In just 24 hours, Sophie Cunningham's TikTok followers jumped from under 400,000 to over 1.2 million. Her Instagram gained more than 700,000 new fans. People weren't just supporting her, they were celebrating her. They called her the Enforcer and bought out all her jerseys until they were completely sold out. This wasn't just a viral moment, it was a cultural shift. Fans were clearly desperate for someone, anyone, to finally stand up for Caitlin Clark. And when Sophie finally spoke to the media, her words cut through the usual polished statements like a knife through butter.
Are we even surprised about this? Sophie Cunningham's jersey sales just passed Caitlin Clark's after she goes viral overnight for protecting Caitlin Clark in a game where she got fined $400, which Caitlin Clark apparently is paying for. But yeah, we found our new queen at Indiana.
What makes Sophie Cunningham's legal action so powerful is that she's not just calling out one game, she's calling out years of failure by WNBA officials to protect Caitlin Clark. Clark has completely changed the league. Indiana Fever games now bring in over 15,000 fans, while other games without her average around 7,000. She's responsible for 33.5% of total WNBA attendance, and games with her have 105% more fans than those without. When the Fever play on the road, attendance jumps by 36%, more than any other team. Teams like the Seattle Storm, LA Sparks, and Washington Mystics all saw attendance double when Clark came to town. But let's be real, this isn't just about stats or basketball. It's about a clear pattern of targeted harassment that wouldn't be tolerated in any other pro sports league.
The Fever saw it coming. They went and got Sophie Cunningham, 6-year-old black belt. This is what the Bulls did with Charles Oakley to protect Michael Jordan. Watch the retaliation later by Sophie Cunningham. And again, this is inappropriate, right? No, it's what happens in basketball.